Hello all, welcome to my channel. A realistic period in American literature. See what it is. The cataclysm of the bloody Civil War and Reconstruction, followed by a burgeoning industrialism and urbanization in the North, profoundly altered American self-awareness and also American literary modes. The years 1865 to 1900 are often known as the realistic period by reference to the novels by Mark Twain, William Dean Howells, and Henry James, as well as by John W. DeForest, Harold Frederic, and the African American novelist Charles W. Chesnutt. These works, though diverse, are often labeled realistic in contrast to the romances of their predecessors in prose fiction by Poe, Hawthorne, and Melville. I repeat, what is realistic period in American literature? The cataclysm, the reason behind this realistic period, the cataclysm of the bloody Civil War and Reconstruction, followed by industrialization and urbanization in the North, altered American self-awareness and also American literary modes. The years 1865 to 1900 is often known as the realistic period by reference to the novels by Mark Twain, William Dean Howells, and Henry James, as well as by John W. DeForest, Harold Frederic, and African American novelist Charles W. Chesnutt. These works, though diverse, are often labeled realistic in contrast to the romances of their predecessors in prose fiction. Poe, Hawthorne, and Melville. Some realistic authors grounded their fiction in a regional milieu, and these include Bret Harte in California, Sarah Orne Jewett in Maine, Mary Wilkins Freeman in Massachusetts, and George W. Cable and Kate Chopin in Louisiana. Chopin has become prominent as an early and major feminist novelist. So Chopin is the major feminist novelist. Whitman continued writing poetry up to the last decade of the century and was joined by Emily Dickinson. Although only 7 of Dickinson's more than 1,000 short poems were published in her lifetime, she is now recognized as one of the most distinctive and eminent of American poets. Sidney Lanier published his experiments in versification based on the meters of music. The African American author Paul Laurence Dunbar wrote both poems and novels between 1893 and 1905. And in the 1890s, Stephen Crane, although he was only 29 when he died, published short poems in free verse that anticipate the experiments of Ezra Pound and Images, and wrote also the brilliantly innovative short stories and short novels that look forward to two later narrative modes, naturalism and impressionism. The years 1900 to 1914, although James Howells and Mark Twain were still writing and Edith Wharton was publishing her earlier novels, are sometimes discriminated as naturalistic period in recognition of the powerful, although sometimes crudely wrote novels by Frank Norris, Jack London, and Theodore Dreiser, which typically represent characters who are joint victims of their instinctual drives and of external sociological forces. Hope you understood. Thank you.